What would life be like if we were living 2,000 years ago? No electricity, no hospitals, no mobile phones, no internet, no modern comfort of any kind. What if every single day began with one question? Will we survive today? 2,000 years ago, life was not about wealth or ambition. Life was about survival. This is not the story of kings or emperors. This is the story of ordinary people, farmers, laborers, mothers, children, people whose names are not written in history books, but who carried the foundations of civilization on their shoulders. Before we dive deeper, if you want to uncover more hidden truths about everyday lives in history, make sure to like this video and subscribe. It helps us bring more untold stories to life. Daily life was constant work. Every morning, life began with labor. If you did not work, you did not eat. If you became weak, you fell behind. And if you fell behind, you often died. There was no social safety net, no government to provide support, no insurance, no charity, no hospitals. Survival depended on physical strength, skill, knowledge passed down from parents to children. Children were not spared from responsibility. By age 5 or 6, boys learned to farm, herd, or use basic tools. Girls learned to fetch water, grind grain, cook, and care for younger siblings. Formal education did not exist for most ordinary people. Life itself was the teacher. Those who learned quickly survived. Those who did not rarely lived long. Food was scarce and every bite counted. Food was not a choice, it was survival. Most ordinary people ate grains, bread, lentils, vegetables, and occasionally fruits. Meat was a luxury, eaten rarely during festivals or special occasions. Crop failures meant hunger. Droughts could wipe out entire villages. Grains, once harvested, were carefully stored to last months. Even a small loss could be dangerous. Hunger was common. Starvation was always nearby. Meals were simple but functional. Calories mattered more than taste. Families shared food carefully. Every meal could be the difference between life and death. Water, the source of life and death, clean water was rare. People relied on rivers, wells, or rainwater. Contaminated water spread deadly diseases. Many lives were lost to illnesses we now consider minor. Fetching water required hours of labor, usually done by women and children. Spilled water or wasted supplies were a serious risk. Without access to water, survival was impossible. Homes, protection, not comfort homes, were small, crowded, and built for basic survival. Walls made of mud, wood, or stone, and roofs of thatch or clay tiles provided shelter from rain and wind, but offered little warmth. Entire families often slept in a single room. Animals were kept nearby for warmth or protection. Fire was essential for cooking and heat, but smoke slowly damaged lungs. Privacy did not exist. Comfort was a luxury ordinary people could not afford. Disease, the silent killer before modern medicine, disease was the most constant threat. A small cut could lead to deadly infection. A fever could kill within days. Child mortality was extremely high. Many never reached adulthood. Herbal remedies and folk treatments offered some help. Prayers and rituals gave hope when medicine failed. Those who survived childhood became physically stronger and emotionally resilient. Survival through adaptation. Community, a lifeline. No one survived alone. Villages and communities were essential for survival. Neighbors shared food, labor, and protection. If a family's crops failed, others shared. If a member fell sick, the community provided help. Trust, cooperation, and social bonds were not optional, they were life-saving tools. Isolation often meant death. Constant threat of violence. Peace was fragile and temporary. Raids, invasions, and local conflicts were common. Ordinary people were the first victims. Men were expected to defend homes with basic weapons. Women and children hid or fled during attacks. Cities and villages could be destroyed overnight. Safety was never guaranteed. Religion. Hope in a harsh world, religion was essential. When famine struck, when sickness spread, or when loved ones died, people turned to gods, spirits, and rituals for comfort. Faith offered explanations where logic could not. It gave hope, emotional strength, and mental resilience. Religion was intertwined with survival. It provided structure and meaning in an unpredictable world. Life expectancy and mortality. Average life expectancy was short, often below 40. Childbirth was risky. Death was a constant presence in daily life, yet life was deeply valued. Every birth, every survival was celebrated. Songs, storytelling, and traditions maintained hope across generations. Despite the hardship, moments of joy and celebration existed. Human spirit endured. Women's lives. Women carried immense responsibility. They managed homes, cooked, gathered water, and cared for children. In many regions, they also worked in fields, handled animals, and maintained family resources. Childbirth was dangerous, yet women gave birth repeatedly, sustaining the next generation. Their knowledge of herbs, remedies, and household medicine was essential for survival. Without women's labor and wisdom, communities could not endure. Seasonal survival. Survival was dictated by seasons. Winter brought cold, famine, and disease. Summer could bring droughts or storms that ruined crops. Planning and preparation were critical. Food and water had to be stored. Homes had to be insulated. Communities relied on shared knowledge of seasons, weather patterns, and resources. Survival was a constant calculation. Every season presented new risks. Old age and wisdom. Those who survived into old age were rare, but they became the backbone of community knowledge. Elders taught farming techniques, medicinal uses of herbs, and traditions. They advised during famine, conflict, or illness. Old age was respected, and wisdom was valued because it directly contributed to survival. Mental resilience. Survival required more than physical strength. Fear, uncertainty, and grief were constant companions. Ordinary people developed mental resilience out of necessity. Hope, planning, skill, and community support allowed them to endure unimaginable hardships. Without courage and resilience, survival was impossible. The legacy of ordinary people's civilizations were not built by kings alone. They were built by ordinary people. Farmers, laborers, mothers, and children carried the weight of survival every day. Their strength, resilience, and courage laid the foundations for the world we live in today. Every road, every building, every cultural practice we inherit stands on their lives and sacrifices. Reflection. When we complain about minor inconveniences today, slow internet, traffic, or a delayed meal, we forget the daily fight for life faced by our ancestors. 2,000 years ago, survival itself was an achievement, and ordinary people achieved it every single day. If this story of ordinary survival inspired you, like this video and subscribe to uncover more untold stories of human history. Because the past is not dead, it lives in the strength, resilience, and courage of the people who came before us.